begin with Sarah and Ben. Sit down, have a coffee, and enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Training Again with Sarah and Ben. I'm Sarah.
I'm Ben.
And we're here to talk about topics that are sweeping the world and in our lives, in our faces. We can't get away from them, and we want to talk about them. It's been a long time to get here, and I'm a procrastinator. And I will just, I'll say, yeah, I'll do it, and I'll never get there. If it wasn't for Ben, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be talking about these topics. And we hope that you'll enjoy our show today. And I'll just hand it to Ben so he can tell us a little bit about what we've got happening today in today's episode.
Okay, so in today's episode, we are going to be talking about Hogwarts Legacy, OnlyFans scandal from maths. We're going to talk a little bit about electric cars, or electric vehicles, I should say, because we've got some motorcycle news, some bike news. We'll also be talking about KFC degustation, which is, Sarah, do you want to take over for that part and kind of explain a little bit of what that is?
I'm absolutely pumped. I wish it was coming to where we lived. I wish it was, coming to Queensland, Southeast Queensland, Brisbane, Gold Coast. It would have been great. But, Sydney's got it, 11 courses. It's all a bit of a secret menu, actually, but it's supposed to be gourmet KFC. I mean, who doesn't love KFC? Who doesn't love fried chicken? Who doesn't like gourmet food? I mean, I wish we could go. Unfortunately, it's only a 3-day event. Who's to say we can actually make it down there?
Yeah, stranger things have happened, but we probably won't. What I'm hoping is it's so successful is that maybe they may bring out a full restaurant dedicated to that. So we'll just have to wait and see. We'll have to
That's
wait.
it. It's surprising. Let's hope so, because it's a world first. World first. And for being a world first to be in Sydney, I mean, of all places, you'd think it'd be somewhere in the US. Maybe you're like in New York or something like that. Maybe, who knows, not here in Sydney, Australia. I mean, that's a short plane ticket away, that's a day trip away, but 75 bucks a head, 2 to 4 people. I mean, you got to book, you might not get a reservation. It only goes for 3 days. Let's just hope it comes up here, because I love me some fried chicken.
All right, we'll get into that segment later. We'll also try and predict some of the Grammy winners from the major categories, and we are going to play a game called Do You Remember the Trend, where I have picked out a particular trend in a particular year. So I will be giving Sarah a particular year, and she'll try and guess the particular trend that I have picked out.
This is going to be tricky.
Yeah, this is, you'll be able to obviously, I'll just explain the game later in the episode, but this may be something we'll eventually give to our audience to participate in future episodes when we build a bit of an audience. But for now, me and Sarah will be just switching around. So 1 week I'll pick the trend, and the next week Sarah will pick it. So anyway, let's go ahead and get straight into the first topic of today, which is Hogwarts Legacy. Sarah, have you got anything off the top of your head that you want to say?
I'm so excited about this game. Like, honestly, Ben, I am really, really excited. I mean, there's very few games that have come out lately that in the past few years that really get me really pumped. I mean, it's always the same stuff. So Hogwarts Legacy just looks great, and we've finally got some gameplay this week. 14 minutes of gameplay. It's excellent. It's more than what we anticipated. It is the graphics. Oh my god, it was the first thing I said.
They certainly showed a lot, didn't they? They certainly showed a lot, but there's still so much mystery within this game as well.
It's insane.
I am so excited for it as well. I'm probably not as big a fan of Harry Potter as you are. I would consider myself more a casual fan of Harry Potter, but this has me extremely pumped as well. Just the gameplay is incredible. I love the combat style. Whew, there's so much to unpack with this game. Is there anything off the top of your head that you want to talk about in particular with the game? Or
if you weren't a Harry Potter fan, it just looks great. I mean, if you're a fan of role-playing games, going around doing things, you can collect herbs and actually make your own different potions and stuff like that. It's not much different from playing, say, Red Dead 2. where you
Yeah.
could where you collect herbs and all that sort of stuff. So even though it's you're in Hogwarts and it's set in a wizard's environment, it's not different in that such to other role playing games. I mean, it's just that you play as a wizard. I mean, you play as a cowboy, you play as a thug in GTA. So what's the difference of playing those? You play as a prehistoric dude in Ark. So really, if you love those types of games, I think you will love it. Even if it opens your eyes to
To the world of
wanting to
Harry
know
Potter,
more. That's
or
right.
to
It's
the wizarding world in general, because
that's it.
this game is set in 1890, which is way before
That's it.
Harry Potter. So I don't think we're going to see too much of the characters we know and love. Obviously, in the trailer, there was nearly headless Nick, and there was actually another cameo for those who read the book.
Oh, there was a lot in there. Like there
Yeah,
was
yeah. So
they're going through.
the second cameo was Professor Binns, who
Yes,
teaches
Ben.
history class. So he's apparently from books. Is that correct? He's from the books.
He is. He's the history of magic teacher. He's very boring. He's a ghost. I mean, those who are fans will obviously know. But it's great seeing all these different characters from the books. You've actually got Peeves. Peeves is there. I mean, there was Peeves wasn't in the movies. I mean, the movies show one perspective, and they have kept a lot of things, rooms, like the castle, very similar to the movies, but there are also places that have the developer's touch to it all. So it's not something, doesn't feel completely stale. It still feels new, it feels fresh.
Yeah, definitely.
And it is honestly good. It is really, really good. I mean, they even go through the Goblin Rebellion. You hear about that in the books.
Oh, really? Really? I didn't know about the so it's actually in the books, the Goblin Rebellion.
The Goblin Rebellion's in the book. Well, if they talk about in History of Magic,
Okay.
and they have a test on it and stuff like that. So they actually talk about the Goblin Rebellion. Hermione's always talking, talks about the Goblin Rebellion and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
So you get to actually play through it.
That's exciting for big fans of the Harry Potter universe.
It is.
That's something I didn't know.
And the details, like the common rooms, look absolutely amazing. The details to that is just, oh my God, so good. You get the kitchens, you actually get to see the kitchens. You hear about it in the books, the movies, you don't see anything. You go to the kitchens in the books and you see the house elves. It's just really, really, really good. And the thing is too, you don't start as a first year, you start as a fifth year. So starting as a fifth year, you've learned some stuff already. You've actually got some knowledge, and it's different, and your fighting style, depending on what spells you learn and all that sort of stuff. And they see you learn to combo spells, combat your enemies.
Speaking of the spells and stuff, do you think that it's going to be kind of assigned to a button, the particular spells? Do you know what I mean?
That's where I'm curious. Or, because I thought the same thing too. Will it be like that? And then you pretty much have to go through and then swap and change your spells?
Yeah. So you
Carry
only
with
be able
you?
to have a select amount.
Yeah, or would it be cool? Or would it be cool if you actually flick the controllers? The actual dual sticks, because it looked like it was played on PlayStation. The actual gameplay.
Yeah, it's gonna be on all consoles. So
yeah, so I'm wondering if you use the sticks and stuff like that.
Could be.
For what I mean, that would be really cool. Like how you
I
got
have
the
more
golf
of
and
the
stuff like
feeling
that.
it's probably going to be you assign certain spells, and then maybe when you go up to particular areas, you have where it comes up with that particular spell that you got to use. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
how you
I think
come up
there's.
with those little symbols. And
That's right. Well, apparently they've got puzzles hidden right through the map,
yeah.
so it's sort of like an open worldy kind of game as well. So you can go actually out of Hogwarts and go to Hogsmeade, and if you go just outside, there's thugs, and you've got to learn to fight pretty much and protect yourself from these the bad guys, because it's all the way. So it's great. They say it's the broom riding, learning how to do broom riding, will get you a lot of places faster, and it just looks awesome.
Do you think they are going to have Quidditch in the game as a mini game?
They should. They should. I mean, it wouldn't be. But then again, like,
I think it's so vast. I wouldn't be disappointed if they left it out, but I really want it in there. The other one that I watched kind of some breakdown videos on YouTube, and someone brought up wizarding chess. That's another cool idea for a mini game
Yeah.
within the game. So
Yes, that's a
you,
great idea.
you never know. Is there any subjects that you're looking forward to with this game, like more than
Oh,
others?
so much. I mean, the fact that you can you know how you can assign points different to your character. So every character will be different. So you can say, I want to build more on my spell building. I want a bit more on my potions making or my charms, or and you can actually, oh, okay, what's the name for that? Where you can skill points. Where
Skill
you can
points.
actually,
Yeah,
divide. Yeah, you can divide skill points and stuff like that. So I think that's a great idea. I like the idea. I mean, the potions making looks really cool.
yeah.
Where it says where you've got to really you got to swirl, turn your jewel stick and gently and all that sort of stuff to make so otherwise you're not going to ruin your potion. It's great. Like it's just the little details
Kind of
that
a
it's
bit
got.
like in Pokemon with the stews and stuff. Do you think
The
it's
cooking.
kind of similar to that?
I think like that, but more in depth.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
looks like it's going to be, so you still have to go through the recipe, but it says if it says crush something, you might have to crush something and then add it to. Then it might says, stir the cauldron, clockwise 3 times. You might have to stir, 3 times, all that sort of stuff, and blah blah blah. And so yeah, I think I'm really excited. And what I really hope would be really cool is multiplayer online. I mean, how
Oh,
be
that
good.
will be crazy. That will be crazy. As you know, personally with me, I'm not really a multiplayer kind of gamer. I prefer to lose myself in the world in single player. That's just me. I know a lot of other people like you love multiplayer, so I'm sure that will have an aspect of that, especially if they do end up putting Quidditch in the game as well. That's something they can
Exactly.
easily transfer to an online game as well. Like
That's right. Well, the thing is,
a multiplayer.
I wasn't sure if they make it an online multiplayer, how they would handle the online multiplayer aspect. I mean, would it be like Red Dead Redemption, but then, you're still a
Actually,
student, sort of thing?
yeah,
Or would it be,
I kind of think it'd be better if they just did like mini games, kind of like Call of Duty kind of does, where you have if they put Quidditch in the game, you can go do the Quidditch, or you can do that combat thing with the combat style of your magic and stuff, and have kind of like a Fortnite-y thing, but with magic.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Yeah, that would be really, really cool. I mean, there's so many elements of this game that there's just so much like
Yeah,
we could talk about, and we'd probably still miss stuff about the care magical creatures, the fact that you can rescue them, you can rescue
and build your own place, customize your own place with those animals.
it's so
I love the cat. I'm really looking, speaking of magical creatures, I'm really looking to riding my buckbeak hippogriff. Oh my god, that blew me away. I'm so excited for that. I
Yes.
cannot wait. I cannot
I know.
wait to
I
experience.
don't blame you.
I'm so
Just so
excited for
many.
that.
They were so cool, so cool. I mean, it's insane. It is absolutely insane. There's just so many detail, so much detail to it. But yeah, we don't think we'll have too long to wait. The way time passes,
Yeah,
will go
well,
pretty
it's
quick.
supposed to come out
especially-
this year. So another thing in one of the YouTube videos I watched, they noticed they didn't display a release date. So people are thinking they're going to
Ooh.
probably push this game back, and
maybe. Though-
they thought maybe they might push it back to Christmas, which I'm not disappointed if they push it
think-
back. As excited as I am to play them.
I think
Like,
Christmas
play
too,
it
because
as
at the end of the gameplay video, it did say holidays 2022, coming holidays 2022. So holidays, I mean, in the US, obviously that's from Thanksgiving onwards.
Yeah, that'd be a really great Christmas gift. So
It'd be exciting.
oh yeah.
I mean, if it comes out before Christmas, I don't think I'm going to be able to wait till Christmas to play it. I mean, I don't think I'll have time to.
For sure.
It'll be one of these things that, and because I'm such a diehard Harry Potter fan, I don't know what they're going to have for, like, the deluxe pack, and all that sort of stuff. So I might be
I'm sure they will. There is, because they said gear. I'm sure they're going to do like an Assassin's Creed kind of thing where they put out all these different aesthetic of gear and stuff, and you're going to be able to buy all these different sort
Brett
of
does that. I mean, my partner.
loot stuff. They're going to make billions of dollars with this game.
Yes.
So,
Oh yeah. I mean,
um,
Brett buys a lot of Assassin's Creed stuff, and there's some pretty cool shit.
yeah, there's
But
so much
I
stuff.
can't wait. I mean, just the fact that, oh, what are they going to give you? Like, what are they going to give you? I'm so going to pre-order. I haven't pre-ordered a game for
The
so
expansion
long.
will be very
Going to
interesting too, because do you think they will have Diagon Alley in this game, or are they just going to use Hogsmeade as your kind of your big shop area like they showed in the trailer, and not
think
worry
so,
about? Do you think they'll have Diagon Alley?
It'd be nice if they did. If not expansion packs later.
Yeah, for
And that's another
sure.
thing too. Yeah, like you said, pushing back the game. Will they push back the game? I mean, I just want the game to come out mostly polished.
Yeah,
Obviously,
same.
have some.
That's
But
what
the
I was
thing is,
gonna.
there's
That's what I was
nothing.
gonna say earlier, was that I would rather them take their time and give us a polished game rather than bring it out like
Rush it out.
what was that game that came out
Oh,
recently?
Last of Us 2
No,
was
not
a
Last of
really
Us
bad
2.
one.
There was Project Red, that one with Keanu Reeves that came out.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
gameplay was like really bad.
yes,
You remember the name
yeah,
of it?
really. No,
Hey,
I don't remember that one. I don't remember that one. No,
ah,
I can't remember, but I did hear
hang
something
on.
about that.
Just keep talking. What secret places do you think they will have in the game? I was thinking
Actually,
like,
I wanted to talk about the room of requirement.
okay,
The room
yeah,
of requirement. I mean,
go
did
on
you see
about that.
the
Why
room
I
of requirement?
yeah. Hang on, just a second.
Did you see? Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah,
That's all
go,
right.
talk about
Oh, the room.
requirement while I look up that game.
Well, I was well, I was wondering how they were going to work the room of requirement in there. Was it going to be? I mean, it was going to be too hard to be an ever evolving room, to your requirements. But I like the idea of how you enter the room and it gives you things that you may that you require at that point in the game.
Yeah,
So that was a really exciting. That was really exciting. I thought, well, that was
so
very clever.
that game was CD Projekt Red Cyberpunk 2077 that I was trying to think of earlier. Yeah. Okay, so room of requirement. Yeah, that's where you're going to have your menagerie. Is that correct? So do you think that's going to be like a portal that you go through where you customize that house and stuff to keep your creatures?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure because it looked like you'd be able to grow your herbs for
Because
your.
it says in the trailer that it's in the room of requirements, so I'm assuming you like
Maybe.
kind of go through a portal to that area where you customize. Also, I'm
Yeah, fair enough.
not too sure. I suppose
Maybe.
it's going to be.
Maybe. Well, I guess technically with the whole Harry Potter world and lore, it is possible with that room. So anything's possible.
Absolutely.
What's to say it isn't? Yeah. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm really pumped. This is a good year for games, though. By the way.
Oh yeah,
A really good year.
Oh my goodness!
I'm really excited.
Some of those new Pokemon games. What else? What else is coming out?
Oh, there's Overwatch. Overwatch. Hopefully that comes out
I
this
know
year.
you're
They've changed that.
excited for that.
They've only changed that to like 5v5, but the open beta starts in the end of next month. If you're interested,
I'm sure
go to Battle.net.
We'll talk about that in a future episode.
We'll talk about more, but if you're interested in registering before the beta, go to Battle.net, register your email, all that sort of stuff, and they'll let you know when the beta's out. So I'm really pumped for that. What's another game that's coming out this year? Breath of the Wild 2. You weren't much of a Zelda fan, but that was a good game.
Yeah,
so,
I do like it. I haven't finished it, obviously, so. But there's so much going on that I rarely finish games. So you are an avid finisher of games, though. On the other hand,
it takes me a long time. Okay, it takes me a very long time. It doesn't mean that you have. I mean, I've got a 4-year-old. I don't get time to play games. It's usually, Mum, what are you doing? Mum, what are you doing? Can I have a turn? Can I have a turn? Can I have a go? Mum, what are you doing? Can I have a turn? So
okay,
that doesn't happen.
Going back into Hogwarts Legacy, something else that got noticed within the trailer was the customization of the character, and they were like, would it have sliders? But it looks like they got preset bases. What's your opinion on that?
It's still good. I mean, obviously, it's a massive game. It is huge. It is massive.
Absolutely.
There is so much. I mean, what are we worried about that you can't customize your character that much?
Yeah.
Honestly, if that's all it is, if it's just a bit of looks on a character, go play something else. Go play The Sims, where there's 10,000 billion, customizations to make on your character. Go play something like that. If you want something for pure, just going around doing stuff,
I think they were more comparing it to like they wanted kind of something Skyrim-y in creation of character, but I'm fine with either because I usually just find a face I like anyway, and I'm like, yep, cool, I'm done.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
it's like if that's the biggest problem they have
yeah,
in the game, so be it. You know, if that's the biggest, if who knows, it could be game of the year 2022.
yeah, for sure. It's definitely a contender for sure. The other thing within that character creation they suggested was maybe taking a photo and being able to have your face on the character. Would that be something you'd be interested in?
Doesn't really bother me.
Doesn't really bother.
No, no. I mean, years ago, with the FIFA stuff, you used to be able to get your FIFA character. You put your face in your FIFA character. This is like going back PlayStation 3 days. And you
Still can.
upload your
I think you still
yeah.
can do that. Yeah.
And I remember it was terrible. I mean, I remember Brett, my partner, I remember trying to line him up and actually do he's like, can you take a photo of my face? And then all of a sudden there's like dark shadows. So he looks like he has like, scars on one side of his face, or one side, he's like two-toned face. Like his skin tone's like two colors and he's all blotchy and looks really
Terrible.
weird.
You don't think the technology is at that state now where it could be really good?
Yeah.
You kind of want to escape from being you, though, I guess, in a game. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, some people like to be themselves, but I mean, like I said, it's not like the biggest issue in the world for me.
Another thing with the Millie Headless Nick thing, I don't think we talked about this. Correct me if I'm wrong. But do you think he will have a side quest?
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be interesting just to know if they are going to do a lot of side quests about characters within the castle,
they did say that with other students in the game, you'll meet people. Actually, I did.
That's right.
I did write down there.
I forgot the name.
So you got Natsai Onai, which is the black girl. And they said she has an adventurous taste for justice and stuff like that. You've got Poppy Sweeting, she's really awkward with people and really finds comfort within the magic beasts. And they also revealed Sebastian Sallow, who is the one from Slytherin with a dark secret. So I'm assuming the dark secret is very similar to Harry Potter with Malfoy, and he's going to be tied to the Dark Wizards.
It'll be good. Oh, let's see.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing too. I mean, this is before the whole. I mean, there'll be Dark Wizards and stuff.
Yeah.
But this is before the whole
Voldemort
Voldemort
they did
thing
say that
the
goblins have teamed up with Dark Wizards. So obviously it's not going to be Voldemort, is what I'm saying. But I think it's going to be a similar storyline of the father's going to be, or even possibly the mother will be tied to being a Dark Wizard or something.
It's gonna be good. I'm excited. I'm absolutely.
Hopefully I'm wrong and they do something different, but that would be pretty predictable. Being the Dark Family secret. Detention if you get caught is something else I got.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. So you'd be sneaking around.
Do you think that will be part of the storyline, or do you think you'll actually just be doing certain things and actually get detention?
I think you'll still have quests to do. It'd be like you can actually pick up mini quests and you can pick up the mainline quest and you'll be able to go do that sort of stuff. But in between your little quests missions, you just sort of you've got free reign sort of thing. You've got it's an open world, so you can do this, do that, and if you want, then you can go continue your main quest, or you can go off and do these little minis. I reckon, because they said you can actually go exploring, you can find things, do the puzzles to unlock things and all this sort of stuff. And so I think you'll have the opportunity to not just sit there and play the whole storyline before you can play the open world. So you'll be able to, when everybody's in bed, you might be able to sneak out of bed and then go. Maybe you might have, I don't know, an invisibility cloak or something.
I'm pretty sure that was in that trailer when they were doing the combat. So
I missed that bit.
I think that's one of the gears. Because Room of Requirement provides things you need. They show you can harvest plants, brew potions, and upgrade your gear in the trailer. That's gonna be a lot of time spent in the Room of Requirement, as well as that's where the menagerie is for your magical beasts, where you can find them throughout the world and nurse them back to health. So that's why I think you're going to go through that portal, and that's where you're going to be able to customize your
That's gonna be
house or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. That should be really good. No, I'm excited. I'm really pumped. Really, really pumped. I think there's gonna be
Here's
a
another
lot
interesting
happening.
thing I wrote down in my notes is, what other creatures do you think you'll be able to ride in that game? Do you think there'll be any other besides a hippogriff?
I think you got Thestrals. I think I saw some Thestrals in there.
Okay, yep. The other one,
Thestrals, which is the
the other
dark
one I thought
horses.
that they may put in there is unicorns, possibly centaurs are obviously in the trailer, but whether you'll be able to ride them is another story.
I don't think. No, I don't think
So,
you'll be able to ride them. I do not think so.
you think they'll put a unicorn in there, Sarah?
Possibly, yeah. Why not? I mean, they've got a lot of magical creatures. It'd be crazy not to. I mean,
Maybe they'll put that as one of those extra things that you buy within the loot. Like in Assassin's Creed, you can buy the different types of horses and stuff. Aesthetics, I guess.
That is true. I mean, it's gonna be good. Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm really, really pumped.
Is there anything else you want to add? I'm just seeing if there's anything.
No, I don't think I've got anything else. I think we covered pretty much everything that I can think of.
Talents. Is there any particular talents you think there'll be?
Not really. I think I can think of really.
The house. The selection of the house. Do you think we'll be able to just select it, or do you think from particular traits that you'll be placed in a certain house?
That'd be interesting.
I think it's more likely that you're just going to be able to pick the house that you want to be in.
Probably.
But
because I'm pretty sure.
Interesting twist if that you had to pick like some certain traits or create your character in a particular way. That would throw you into that particular house.
That would be interesting, but at the same time, I think that there are people who are diehard Potter fans who already have their house and probably want to just transfer that to their character. So probably, yeah. But otherwise, yeah, I'd be pretty pumped if you just pick some character traits and then you would just assign something for your character. You know, because that's your character. Doesn't have to be a reflection of you as such. You know, but I'm pretty sure some people would be upset if they can't choose their. You know, just like choosing your class in certain things. I mean, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to choose your house.
Yeah, that's what I think is the most likely option too. Okay, well, so that's everything.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
Want to talk about with Hogwarts Legacy?
I can't think of anything else. I'm pretty sure we'll get
a lot of time on that. So
that's it. And I think there'll be more gameplay, more trailers, more stuff coming out through the year,
and we'll definitely cover it. We will.
That's it. This is an ongoing topic. Watch this space. This is something we'll really be into and watching very closely.
Especially Sarah being a massive fan of the Harry Potter world.
Have
you listened to the audiobook now?
I think I've lost count. Maybe I don't know. I've listened to it once this year, and this year hasn't even. It's only just started.
You listened to it quite a few times last year, correct?
I listened to it roughly about 5 times a year, but then that's the whole series. But the thing is, I was never a Harry Potter fan. I was, for years, I never really watched it. I never read the books. I'd heard about it. I'm like, I don't get the hype and all blah, blah, blah. But it would have been 2019. I was going through a real, audiobook podcast phase, mainly podcasts. I found they were reading at home with celebrities, reading the Philosopher's Stone. I listened to that. I got really into it. Got Audible, listened to all the books, and it's been the best thing ever. Like, honestly, don't knock it till you try it, because I did, and I didn't try it till 2019, and it's the best series. Honestly, great.
I've obviously listened to the first book, Philosopher's Stone. I haven't got into the second one yet because I listened to a lot of other podcasts that are in the afternoons on the way home, so it's kind of hard to fit it in with life at the moment. But I definitely want to go through. Maybe I'll start focusing more on that in preparation of Hogwarts Legacy. So,
the best thing about
so that I can catch. Obviously, I've watched the movies, but the books have so much more vast information than the movies.
And the best thing about the books is
changes well with the
movies. That's it. Well, the best thing about the books is you go back and you read it again, and you find stuff that you didn't find before, and you've worked out all these little bits and pieces, and then you read it again and you find more stuff, and you read it again and you find more, and it's ever evolving. And the good thing about listening to an audiobooks like that and leaving your podcasts for a little bit, when you come back to them, there's heaps to listen to, and you can just binge the rest of them. And trust me, it doesn't take that long to get through it all.
Okay, let's move on to the next topic. I thought we'll just do some rapid fire ones really quick and just talk about the Netflix are cracking down on passwords with sharing passwords.
Yes.
So they are trialing that in South America. And
This is going to upset a lot of people, though, because there are a lot of people out there that rely on, well, not rely, but they, share their password to their friends, mainly, mainly their family. You might be here at one place, your elderly parents, want to watch some Netflix. You just log in and they watch it and all that sort of stuff.
It's not necessarily your household they're cracking down on. They're actually just cracking down on the.
But you might not live together. You know what I mean? They might live in a different state altogether.
That's a point. You're not supposed to be sharing it with people from other houses.
That's right.
You're supposed
they are your family.
People you live with.
That's right.
Yeah. So
that's right. That's what I said. I think a lot of people are going to be upset and be put out.
I think so too. I think their way around this is doing what Spotify does. I did mention this to you before the show, that I think they should do what Spotify does, and you have to email the other person email them and invite them to your profile that you're paying for. I'm trying to think of another word.
Yes, that's all right. That's quite all right.
I think people get the gist of what I'm trying to say there.
Yeah, and actually have a family. Yeah, exactly. Have a family subscription.
Doesn't even necessarily.
Or you can have a duo subscription.
Yeah, exactly.
Similar to what Spotify does. Yeah, I totally agree. That'd be a great idea. I mean, the prices went up last year anyway. It was just recently the prices went up for Netflix, and everything went up. So people want value for their money as well. Fair enough. There is a lot of stuff on Netflix, but with the amount of streaming services that there are these days, it's hard to pick and choose. And if you had every single one of them, you'd be spending a fortune. So it's crazy, And I guess if you want good content, you got to pay for it, don't you?
So here's two features that are being. I found the article. Here's two features that are being trialed. Add an extra member, which allows subscribers to add sub account to their existing for a lower fee than the regular subscription. These sub accounts will have independent profiles, personalized recommendations, and their own login and password. The second feature is the option to transfer your profile to a new account, which is essentially an offer to purchase your own account or a sub account while retaining your lists and viewing history.
Oh, so you can actually purchase a sub account.
Which means that you'll be paying extra for extra accounts on your Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Well, that's fair. Yeah.
Anyway, time will definitely tell on that. What about, do you want to quickly give your opinion on the OnlyFans scandal for maths, and quickly maybe just give a quick about the story. A quick about the story. About the story.
Well, it's a bit of a juicy one.
Okay.
Well, one of the girls has an OnlyFans account. Her name's Dominica. So Dominica has an OnlyFans account. Olivia is another one of the wives in the maths experiment. Her friends Googled Dominica's name, found she had an OnlyFans account, went in, screenshotted a picture of her half nude on the couch, and then sent it to Olivia. Olivia then went around and showed everybody in the experiment the photo, and obviously it caused a definite stir. So Olivia's feeling a bit sorry for herself.
Backlash from the Australian public, apparently.
Oh, there's a lot.
So I think I kind of read that some of them were saying about shaming or something, body shaming, or is that kind of on the right track, or do you want to explain more about what the issue was?
I think that I'm not really too sure. It just says that Dominica was very upset that the photo was circulated with malicious intent. I don't think she would have cared. Probably, maybe, you have an OnlyFans account. You're on a national TV show. I'm pretty sure someone's going to find out eventually. Yeah, I don't think she was really cared about that. I think it's the way it came out.
Ended up deleting the account after this scandal.
Oh, there you go.
Happened.
Well, there you go. So I think it's also it's because it's the way it was portrayed. You know what I mean? Oh, look at this, look at this. You know what I mean? It wasn't,
Yeah, I
you
think
know,
I think that was part of the problem was body shaming. The other was it's kind of
degrading. No?
degrading them, shaming them. Yeah, I,
Yeah, it's yeah,
I,
yeah, by doing
think
that.
my personal opinion is if you got it, flaunt it. That's just
Exactly. And the thing
my
is,
personal
if
opinion.
that's it, if you're comfortable with yourself and you're just what you have, who cares about what other people think? You know, you're not doing it for somebody else, you're doing it for yourself. Yeah, at the end of the day. You know, each to their own. Doesn't mean I'm going to go have an OnlyFans account and strip my clothes off for money. That's a different thing. But you know, that's everybody's different. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, there's obviously a need for it. Otherwise it wouldn't be there. There's a market for it, you know, and
Absolutely.
these I mean, I'd like to have a job where I don't have to work much and I make a lot of money. Some of these girls don't have to really work too much at all. You take some photos, you upload them, you work for yourself, you're not working for someone else.
Yeah.
You know, it's, you know, why not? Why not? I can see the empowerment in there, you know. I can see how it, you know, it makes you feel good too, you know. So there's nothing wrong with it. If that's each to their own, each to their own, each to their own. If they want it, that's what they want to do. So be it.
Awesome. I think that was pretty good for
Yeah.
rapid fire opinions for those stories we just kind of plucked out.
Pew pew pew.
Pew pew. All right. Let's get into KSC Digger Station. And basically, do you want to explain about what it is?
Well, it's 11 courses of KFC, pretty much gourmet KFC, gourmet fried chicken. We don't know what it is. We don't know what the menu is. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some popcorn chicken and obviously gonna have some potato and gravy. I mean, but probably a lot better than your average. I mean, nothing wrong with it, but I'm probably better than your average. I mean, for $75 a head, you'd want it to be pretty damn good. But world first in Sydney. What more could you want? We wish we were there. Honestly, we wish we could go. It's great. So I'm excited. I'm excited, even though I'm not going. I just want to see. Would love to see what they're actually serving. So I'm looking
it's
forward
going
to
to
that.
be very, very interesting what they'll do. But it
It's
says from the website, the menu pays homage to all kinds of familiar seasonings, but you'll be pleased to know it's offered with a complimentary wine, flighting. We call it liquid seasoning.
it's pretty good. It's pretty good. They're doing it all for
charity.
charity.
Yeah, I see the 100% of the proceeds will be going to
The KFC Youth Foundation.
To Black Dog and Reach Out Australia and White Lion are the three causes that
There you go.
donating to.
There you go.
It's $75 a head.
Yes.
Is it sold out already, or you don't know? Haven't been.
No, you just got to make a reservation. So pretty much you just put your details in, make a reservation. You find out on the 1st of April whether you have a booking. And they've only got two times per day. So like they're going to have 6 sessions. So for 3 days. So that, you know, the first, the second, and the third, I think it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 8 o'clock in the evening. Two sessions a day. So if I don't know, so you might be lucky if you get in, because I don't know how big the venue is going to be, how much they don't even say where the venue is going to be. It just says in Sydney.
I think it's.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it's.
Oh, there you go.
In Alexandria. One of the courses that R7 News showed was called The Twisted Sister, a fresh take on Twister with pearl barley risotto, sun-dried tomato, pumpkin, and chicken tenders.
Oh, that sounds pretty good. Excited. Oh, I wish we were going, Ben.
And you've got supercharged wings cooked over a bed of charcoal.
Ooh.
And it says, it is set in Sydney's Alexandria. It's set to open its doors Friday, April 1. Fans have 3 nights to experience the Digger Station with sittings held each evening from 5 p.m. I think whoever's going to that, if you hear the show, I definitely think you should share your experience with us so we can talk about it on a future episode, maybe guest you. But yeah, there's not much info on what else is on the menu, but I'm sure we can definitely look into that after they have obviously opened their doors and talk about it more through the news.
Excited. It'll be nice to hear. I would love to see what they're actually serving. I want to see some pictures. Bring it. Some reviews.
Yeah, that's another thing we should definitely look up is some reviews. I think that sounds really exciting though. It's going to be very interesting to see how successful it is. I don't think they'll make a brand new restaurant to do that kind of gourmet KFC-ified
Gourmet KFC.
KFC-ified
KFC.
KFC-ified gourmet. I don't know how to word that, Sarah.
Gourmet discussion.
Gourmetified KFC. There we go.
Gourmet fight.
KFC, yeah. So what I think they do will maybe take some of the good dishes and maybe they might serve it through the KFC restaurant chains.
We can only hope. Nah.
You don't think so?
I don't think it'll be just. I don't know. Do you think it'll be any good?
Yeah, I don't know. It depends how it's made, I guess.
I don't know. It's like years. Like I don't know if they still do it, but I remember years ago that Red Rooster did fish and chips. It was the worst fish and chips I ever had. But so I think you stick to what you know.
They do. Well, they are experimenting with chicken. They're just gourmifying it. All right.
Next video will be a deconstructed zinger burger. So you have your lettuce on the side, a little bit of cheese, zinger.
We could gourmify it ourselves.
That's it. Make it yourself.
Make it yourself, KFC.
That's it. Deconstructed.
Is there anything that you can think that they might actually do?
No, not that I can think of. I mean,
pretty hard.
It is pretty tricky.
They'll just drop it in some interesting sauces or something. The chicken wings and some interesting sauces.
Well, they said there's going to be a lot of food.
11 courses. There's a lot of food.
There's a lot of food. But then again, it depends.
I'm very interested to see what they do with potato and gravy. Do you think they'll gourmify that?
Yeah, actually use real potato. Not the instant mash.
And instead of instant gravy, they'll make some like really nice gravy recipe or something.
Well, they've got to actually use the chicken juices and all that sort of stuff. But I don't know. It could be really good. Like, so really. And it won't be like mashed potato and jus.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what they do for sure. All right, let's move on to electric vehicle. I've actually got some interesting quotes here from some celebrities from around the world. My favorite out of all the quotes that I've seen was David Duchovny from X-Files, and all his quote is literally, "I drive an electric vehicle."
Really?
Okay, so I got one from Elon Musk, and it is, I really do encourage other manufacturers to bring electric cars to market. It's a good thing, and they need to bring it to market and keep iterating and improving and make better and better electric cars. And that's what's going to result in humanity achieving a sustainable transport future. I wish it was growing faster than it is, which a lot of car companies are now obviously starting to pick up that mantle and bring out all kinds of future electric vehicles, including within motorcycles, within trucks. Yeah, there's actually a Ford F-150 Lightning, I think it's called. There's a Chevy Silverado is coming as an electric vehicle option. My main concern with electric vehicles is the length it can kind of travel, because I like to travel a lot with one charge. And the other issue is, as we both looked into, was the charging. That was another big negative for electric
infrastructure. Yeah, charging infrastructure. I mean, if they've got the infrastructure there, I mean, and they said I do see more charging stations around. I don't have an electric vehicle, but I do see more charging stations around. I don't know how long they'll take to charge. That's the thing. I mean, they say, the new ones I see around the place, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I mean, there was this lady apparently only a few years ago that actually traveled right around Australia in an electric vehicle. So it can be done, but I think you've also got to choose your path of where you go and all that sort of stuff. You can't just go willy-nilly wherever you want, because you might not have a charging station there if you need it.
Yeah.
So it's one of those, and for those, it'd be good if there's a lot of those highway fast charge. So apparently it's 15 minutes to full.
Oh, really?
So if you get those highway fast,
the more people that start creating electric vehicles, which a lot of these car companies are now doing, the better the technology for charging is going to get
That's right.
anyway.
Well,
But
that's
it will
right. Well,
grow
the Queensland,
naturally over time. It's just a matter of
that's it.
investing and creating.
Well, that's it. Well, the government hasn't really given us, pushed it at all. Just recently, the Queensland government has given a $3,000 grant to, I think, I can't remember what how much to buy an electric vehicle. I can't remember to what price. I think it might have been something like $8,000 or $50,000 or something. They said anything above that, if you can afford an electric car above that, you don't need their $3,000 grant,
Okay.
to make it cheaper.
Because there are some
So
cheaper options that I've seen yesterday. We won't get too much
that's right.
into details of models. I don't have
There
them
is a
on
lot.
hand. There is a
But the
lot.
thing is,
I
there
did
is
I
a
did
lot.
watch some reviews of cars, electric cars yesterday. But yeah, that was a lot of the issues in all the different reviews I watched was the charging.
But there's a lot of pros to it. I mean,
Oh,
when we
absolutely.
work together, where we work, that we have a customer that comes in that drives a Tesla. He had one of
Yeah.
the first Teslas in Queensland. We were talking to him about it. And he says his wheels like were so clean. There's not a speck of brake dust on it. He says I haven't cleaned my wheels for 6 months because it's different to driving an electric car to driving a normal car. When you have to brake in a normal car, you have to put your foot on the brake. To stop in a normal car, you have to put on your foot on the brake to stop. In an electric car, if you take your foot off, as soon as you take your foot off the accelerator, you start slowing down. You don't actually really have to touch your brakes
I
unless you
think
really
that's
need them.
mainly in Tesla. I think that's mainly
Is
in
it?
Tesla.
I
Yeah.
thought it was an electric car
I'm
thing
not,
because
yeah, that's something I'll have to look into because
you also have that direct
I thought that
power
was
in your
a, I
wheels.
thought
Yeah,
that
you
was a
know what I mean.
car for Tesla. Actually, I
Well,
went on to build a Tesla yesterday on their site, and there's all these different options. So with their drive yourself, it's actually
Yeah.
an extra option that you have to add. So
Yeah,
they've got
that's fair enough.
for more control. I think it's like $3,000 or something extra to have
Yeah.
the full advantages of self-driving available. Then again, I don't think you can even use them all because different countries have different laws with
Well, the
the
thing is
self-driving
too.
because it's not fully fleshed out yet, I guess is.
Well, the thing is too, because the car is more like a computer than it is a car. Everything is so easily upgradable and installed, and all that sort of stuff. It's just pretty much plug and
Yeah,
all the software and play. You know what I mean?
that's
It's
another
different.
thing I seen yesterday when building the people were reviewing the Tesla is apparently they can
Yeah.
upgrade, so you get all this new software, so the car can do all these
Yeah.
new things just through updates like your
Yeah.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
Which is
Exactly.
crazy.
It is insane.
That's insane.
It's insane. Insane. I've also heard that people can also they drive past cemeteries and they actually see people on their screen and stuff like that. So there's a lot of TikTok videos of people driving through cemeteries and then going slowly through the cemetery and then looking at their Tesla screen and actually seeing people on the screen and there's nobody actually in the cemetery. It's pretty. They're like, "Ooh, ghost detectors," and they're like, but it is. But no, it is really exciting. And the thing is, like having an electric vehicle is direct power to the wheels. You know what I mean? It's with a petrol car or a diesel, petrol vehicle or diesel vehicle. You put your foot down and it slowly takes up, picks up, and all that sort of stuff. Fair enough. But with an electric vehicle, power to the wheels is instant, pretty much instant. I'm pretty sure you have motors on all four of your wheels, so power is absolute instant. I remember years ago watching this race. It was like a Hellcat versus this electric car, and a Hellcat. If you know anything about cars, is like one beast of a car. It's very fast, a lot of power. And yeah, versus
I'm not,
electric vehicle.
Major. So, what would you compare it to? Like a Ferrari,
Oh
Porsche,
well, I think they did do a
Ferrari,
Ferrari. I think they
Lamborghini?
did do like Ferraris. I think they did do a Ferrari, and it still beats off the takeoff. Because of the direct power to the wheels. You put your foot down, you go. There's no slow takeoff. You know what I mean? Like with the Ferrari, it might beat it faster, like in as further down, but on takeoff, the electric vehicle will always beat on takeoff. It's insane. It's great. But the thing is, I mean, what's going to happen with all these traditional mechanics? They're all, it won't be long till they all start fading out, and it's going to be all these techies working on cars instead of.
Yeah,
Well, that's the thing too. Another thing there too.
it's definitely
Oh,
going
sorry.
to shake up the car industry. Yeah,
It's yeah, and the thing is too.
mechanically for sure.
Another another thing people are worried about is the battery life. You know, and lithium. You know, when I was doing a bit of research about all this sort of stuff, I found out where there's a lot of lithium stores. There is where flamingos live, and they're finding that the flamingos die because there's not a lot of. They used to collect lithium. They push water under the ground and lifts all the minerals up, and then they let it evaporate, so it's easier for them to mine. So which means the water is completely evaporated, and there's nowhere for the flamingos to go. And you need the lithium. I don't know. As they say, it's all this recycling and all this stuff. But we'll see this space. We'll watch this space. I mean, we know that combustion engines, hydrocarbons, and all that sort of stuff is bad for the environment, as well as the petrol itself. I mean, soaring petrol prices itself is insane to actually go anywhere. But is it just as safe? You hear about acid rain where the batteries are being made and all that sort of stuff. So, if we're going environmentally, is it just as safe or not as safe? Or, it's, I guess it's still, all new to us. So we don't exactly know what's going on. They say 15 years, you won't have to replace your batteries, probably about 15 years. And the way the batteries are going, like technology is going for those batteries, they're getting a lot better. So who knows, maybe it might be a lot longer before you have to replace your batteries in your electric vehicle than 15 years. I say most people don't even keep their car for 15 years.
Another interesting thing that I seen yesterday, when I was watching some videos about the electric vehicles, I actually watched some stuff about electric bikes, and they reckon people are more likely to pull out their electric bike and ride it every day, whereas if you're just going to get a normal bike, you're more likely to ride it like once a week. So
totally.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of growth within the bicycle industry as well with that electric bikes. I don't think they don't seem to last very long. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's I'm not too sure. I should have wrote that one down.
That's all right. I mean, I guess as technology goes,
it's not a very long lasting, but I think it's long enough if you're going around locally. It's really good for in cities and stuff like that.
I mean, why don't we, say, I don't know, I'm pretty sure they have it already. You have the pedals on there, use it, recharges your battery. You know what I mean? If you're going downhill, it recharges your battery. It uses
I think they do have some bikes like that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is a smarter thing to do. I mean, so you still it's recharging itself, just like an alternator in your car. When you it charges your car battery.
Or maybe they could put some plugs on the side of all the other chargers at the stations where you can refuel your bike battery.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Even within like parks or something. I don't know.
That's it.
I'm sure
another thing
they could do.
Another thing I read though about the electric cars, people are worried about what the pressure it's going to put on the grid with everybody having electric cars and the electricity grid, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I read that too. I actually printed out that article, but
and I saw that. But the smart idea, which I thought this was really clever, what they said is going to combat this is that when the power in the grid starts getting low, the power from your electric or the electric cars that are plugged in will back up the grid. So which means you'll have less chances of blackouts and all that sort of stuff because you'll have all these electric cars plugged in, all their batteries will be able to back up the power grid when it's needed. That's great. That's a great idea. Excellent.
Another thing I seen was Toyota are building buses, electric buses and trucks.
Oh, awesome.
For 2024 with Hino.
Wow.
And Isuzu also.
Oh, that's exciting.
As well as kind of like the moving kind of trucks. There's actually already a truck, and I tried to print out the brochure, but my color.
Is that by Daimler or something? Is that by Daimler or something like that? DAIMER or something like that?
I think it started with an R. It started with an R.
Fair enough. Because I heard that China is the largest buyers of electric cars in the world at the moment. So I think there'll be a lot coming out from China. I think I'd say
the truck's
probably a lot more affordable ones.
The truck is called the Acantar. It's 100% electric, zero noise, zero emissions.
Oh wow!
The first 100% electric production truck ensures great efficiency, performance, zero emissions, and virtually no noise. And like all Fuso, I think that's what you said, Fuso truck earlier.
No, I think it was Daimler, which I think is something else.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Fuso trucks. Safety comes standard with AEBS, LDWS, and pedestrian detection. Now you can get the job done without it costing the earth. But anyway, I thought it was very interesting. I tried to print out that brochure and I ran out of ink.
Daimler. It's Daimler, DAIMLER.
Okay. Here's another quote from
I did see they had electric.
Richard Hammond. He said
Oh yes.
it's not just the kid who's spent every penny from his job to upgrade his car to tell the world he cares about sports cars. It's also the person driving around in a fuel conscious hybrid electric car because it's more a message to the world than an effective means of saving fuel, to be quite honest.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's what people are going to be thinking.
Because when I went and bought my last new car, which was 2015, my dad suggested to get the hybrid, the Toyota Camry, and I decided to go with a fuel car at that stage. I don't think it was such as popular with Tesla at that stage like it is now. But I plan on, if I'm going to get a new car, I really want to get an electric one. It probably won't be any time
Yes.
just yet
Yeah.
soon. I'm kind of want to wait and see how 2022 progresses and see
mean,
what changes come through before I
Totally agree.
go buy
I
it.
totally agree. Well, I can't afford one right now. So when they start getting a bit cheaper, and all that sort of stuff, yeah, most definitely probably change over to an electric vehicle. Yeah, safer for the environment and all that sort of stuff. It's hard for me though, at the same time because I've grown up with petrol engines and stuff like that. So I do like that sort of stuff, but I can see the pros and the cons.
Here's
of both.
here's a bit of a negative quote. This one's from Henry Ford II, and he said, "We have a tremendous investment in facilities of internal combustion engines, transmissions, and axles, and I can't see them throwing away just because the electric car doesn't fumes." I kind of see that not being the case.
I don't know. I don't see petrol.
The more it develops, I think it's going to grow on people, and these are going to be our future.
Yeah.
The other one that kind of they think could be the takeover of the petrol car is the hydrogen car, which I think
That
we'll
could be
talk
something
about
else.
in another episode. But
That'd be interesting,
I did read that
Because-
is another solution.
Yeah, I mean, I can totally understand. I feel the same way too. I don't think there'll be, we'll ever get rid of a need for a combustion engine. Not need, but the want. You know what I mean? That's something that maybe that will phase out later through generations come along. Different generations. But us, and especially petrol heads, if you love cars, especially just the sound of a petrol engine or the combustion engine, just that noise, the feel, it's the same having an electric car.
I think they'll become more of a where they just sit in a garage.
It'd be an excess, something you'd take out for a Sunday drive. You know what I mean? Or they might release a limited edition, whatever. I don't know, maybe I don't know, but I totally agree with you because that's the thing too. Later, if you don't have petrol stations and you've got charging stations, they don't sell them. It's like leaded fuel. You don't buy leaded fuel anymore. It's because they don't have it at the pump.
Do you think they'll charge for charging a car with I think they do eventually.
I think they do. They charge you? I think they do.
I think at the moment, Victoria brought it. You actually don't pay anything at all on electric cars.
Oh, really?
So Victoria, the government in Victoria, actually just we're debating about paying per kilometer of your electric vehicle. So you're paying some kind of tax, like overall kilometer, not per kilometer, overall kilometers, and pay. So you are contributing to tax of the roads and all that.
But I thought that's what the point of paying for your rego was.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. But I suppose, the other option is put in more tolls, I guess.
Yeah. Well, tolls, no, because tolls actually are privately owned.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know
tolls
that.
are actually private.
I thought they were
tolls are privately owned.
So I thought they contributed to paying off the road.
Oh, no.
No?
Basically, I think a private company buys that stretch of the road, and that's how they.
That shouldn't be allowed. I think it should. I don't mind them putting the tolls in, so long as it's
if
going.
The money goes back to
is back to the government, and it's paying for upgrade of roads or upgrade of.
Agree, but it doesn't. It's
roads because that's what we're.
That's right.
Paying for.
That's right. Yeah, but it doesn't. And that's
private companies should. So I'll have to look into that.
All private. Yeah, it is definitely private companies.
Okay.
And that's another thing. It's just like parking at a hospital. You pay to park at a hospital. That's not a hospital park. The rest of them are. That's all privately owned. That's not owned. So the money that you pay to park there doesn't go back into the hospital that you're going into. It goes into somebody else's pocket.
That's wrong.
It is so wrong. You know what I mean? Like, you
Because
don't mind paying for this sort of
there's
stuff.
so much like they could do with that. Even the parking fees, like going to the hospital, just
Yeah.
imagine all the science they could be funding in finding cures for
The thing is too, but
disease.
you work there. You work there and you have to pay for parking
Yeah, no,
for these privately owned companies.
kind of
It's
very
crazy.
disgusting. It's
It is.
it's
It is. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But what are you supposed to do?
absolutely.
I mean, you know, I mean, with the price of petrol going up, and then you got to pay for the parking as well. It's
So
crazy.
here's an interesting one from Elon Musk as well. Another quote. I think there are more politicians in favor of electric cars than against. There are still some that are against, and I think the reasoning for that varies depending on the person. But in some cases, they just don't believe in climate change. They think oil will last forever.
No, well, definitely. I mean, I don't know. I don't think the world was going to last forever. Definitely not. But it's also too what we're doing to everything else around us.
Yeah,
But then
no,
again,
absolutely.
we
I've,
destroy
I've
everything.
I've got no problem with where we're heading with electric vehicles, and I love the development of new technologies, and the only way we're going to get there is the more people that do it, the more innovation we're going to have.
That's it. I mean, I'm
And
still.
you need that competitive streak. That's why I think Elon Musk wants more people to start developing electric cars, because that competitiveness will also bring about such great innovation within
Exactly.
technologies.
That's it. And, you know, and hopefully, you know, drive the price down with more competition in the market.
Yeah,
I mean, at the moment, it's not very. I mean, there are a lot more electric and hybrid vehicles around, but it's still not within the reach of the average person.
absolutely. I agree with that point.
You know, it's crazy. I mean, I'm not a type of person. They say that there's two big loans that you'll have in your life, and that one's your home loan, and next is your car loan. And I tell you what, I'm not having a car loan that's money.
Here's one from our favorite billionaire, Bill Gates. All right. In the same way that when the car got going, people thought it would be an electric car. People thought it would be a steam car.
Hey, the steam car's been and gone, mate.
Steam car's been and gone. All right.
There was. Years ago, I went to some like antiques expo, you know, down the road in Narang, and it was they actually had a steam car, an old steam car. It's pretty crazy. I'll have to dig up the photo, see if I can find the photo and dig it up. And
Here's
if we get a
another
chance,
one.
if I can find, I can share it.
This is more a negative one. Electric cars are coal-powered cars. Their carbon emissions can be worse than gasoline-powered cars, and that is from Vinod Khosla, I think his name is how you say it.
I don't know. I mean,
That's something we'll have to look into. I have heard things
yeah.
involving that area, but that's not something I'm real expert on.
Because that's the thing too. I mean, we see the end product; it looks good for the environment. We don't know how it's made, you know, and that's where I think my concern is. If we were talking about environmentally,
I think the main point of that is that the power to make the cars is coming from the power grids that are being powered by coal or all different types of things, unless you're going to go to nuclear or something like that. I'm not sure
and
how
that's the thing. Yeah.
I don't even know how clean nuclear is. So
Well, they say it's pretty good. You know, it's very clean.
Even with like the wind power, you're still making them through coal-fired power stations to create that, to make the power we're getting. Same as solar panels, I guess. So
yeah, well, the thing is too. Look at the space it takes. It takes up a lot of space. You know, you see a wind farm. A wind farm is not a small. You don't have a few windmill things to charge up. There are hundreds of thousands of them lined up. You know, and that's that takes up a lot of area. That's a lot of free space, and you have to make sure it's in a windy area that's actually got that sort of. It's going to keep at least some sort of breeze or something, so it's going to be open enough and all that. So you got to have the right location, enough space in that location. You know, wind farms, they all sound good in theory, and you go, but practicality is. And I think they found that out a while ago. Wind farms. It's good in some places, but it's a tricky one, you know. I mean, and I think the idea of feeding back into the grid, all these solar panels, all that sort of stuff, and finding alternatives to actually putting power in, you know, and using less of, you know, from our power stations is probably the best way to start this, you know, as well as trying to find alternatives for a cleaner energy. But who knows, you know?
Absolutely.
The way technology is moving, what's to say that they're not looking for something else or they haven't found something else? So it's
here's one more, and then we'll move on. This one's from George W. Bush, and he says, America is addicted to oil. We must also change how we power our automobiles. We will increase our research in better batteries for hybrid and electric cars and in pollution-free cars that run on hydrogen. We will also fund additional research in cutting-edge methods of producing ethanol, not just from corn, but from wood chips and stalks or switchgrass. Anything from that?
Haven't got anything. Sorry. I'll be right.
I think that just goes basically into what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
The more people that do it, the more innovation there's going to be within that industry.
That's it. That's it.
All right, let's play a quick game of Do You Remember the Trend? We'll quickly do our guess of the nominations and round up the show. All right, let's get into the trend game.
Do you remember the trend? I might testing your friend. Hopefully they'll know. Guess it to win. Can you guess that trend? I'll try. Do you remember the trend?
Okay, welcome to Do You Remember the Trend? So this game is we pick out a particular year, a particular trend within that year, and the other person has to try and guess what that trend is. Okay, are you ready, Sarah?
Oh, as ready as I'll ever be, I guess.
Okay.
Let's bring it on.
The year is 1995. Would you like to take a guess, or would you like to get a clue?
Clue, please, because I have no idea.
Okay.
Oh,
The
trending
first clue
1995.
is chip packets and cereal boxes.
Chip packets and cereal boxes. So it would have been like Tarzos, would it?
Oh, you got it.
Tarzos.
Tarzos.
Oh,
1995.
Tarzos. Oh, far out. Is that
Yeah.
95?
Yeah, 95.
Wow.
I actually thought it was 94 at first. I'm glad
Yeah,
I should explain that. So 1995 is the Australian release of Tarzos, and I'm pretty sure it was 1994 was the US release of Tarzos.
that makes sense.
So,
It's
so
right, I
the
guess.
1995 was the Australian, because us being Australian, obviously.
I didn't even think back on my.
That was a good guess.
Crazy.
I'll tell you what, I tested my mom and she got it straight away too. I was like, did I make it too easy?
You know what it is? It's because you probably hounded her when you're a kid to buy the packets of chips with the Tarzos
Yeah, I
in there.
definitely did.
So she's
Yeah,
never
we
going to
did.
forget that. And she probably remembers you yelling at you guys to pick it all up.
For the younger people that don't know what Tarzos are, it was a game you played by stacking these little disc things with Space Jam. I'm pretty sure Kellogg's had their characters on. Was it Kellogg's or was it the chips? I can't remember. Pretty sure one
It was
of
the
their
chips. It was all those chips.
was one of their characters on the discs, and
there was so
basically
many.
you'd pile them up and you get this thing called a slammer, which was like a heavy disc, and then you'd throw it down, and whichever ones, I think, is it that spread out
That fall down, yeah, that you count. And I think, or they're facing away up.
a landed face up. Yeah, so you got to keep
and then you
whatever
get to keep
one's
those.
landed face up was
Yeah.
the winner. So the
We
game
used to play sometimes.
The game was played by stacking them, throwing a slam out the pile. The player would collect all the discs that landed face up, and the game would continue. Whoever ended up with the most discs was the winner.
It was a pretty crappy game, but it wasn't about the game. It was just like collecting. It was about collecting.
Yeah, well,
things.
we ended up buying a collector's folder. We got nowhere near collecting all of them. I'm pretty sure we've lost the folder. Either that or one of the siblings has sold it off. But I'd say more likely it got lost. It got lost.
I know. I think we still got ours somewhere because my brother and I, we kept ours in a Pringles tin.
Really?
Yeah, in a Pringles tin. We had
Wow.
a few of them in like Pringles tins, and I think we still got them somewhere. And there was like ones that you connect together, and they had like Looney Tunes on them and stuff. And they had Looney Tunes, they had shinies.
Yeah, it was
No,
popular. It was around the same time as Space Jam came out, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I used to get them in the thins, chips, thins. And they brought so many out because I found out I had a Pokemon one. I found one the other day. I gave it to Claire. It's a Magikarp, like little hollow card thing. I think that was.
Did you know they were around till 2008? They were still around. Yeah. They've had so many different characters. They were obviously the peak.
Crazy.
The peak of it was in 1995, but apparently they continued Tarzos right through till 2008. I'm not sure how
I don't think here
did that.
here in Australia.
I think it's more likely most probably the US and the UK.
Yeah, because I don't think
not
it
too
was
sure.
because I mean
But
I,
yeah,
I got a
I
packet
didn't
of
see
chips.
that. I was surprised. I was like, what? It was around 2008?
No, it definitely wasn't because I remember that I mean graduated in
I'm not sure how
2003
they
in
did
high
it.
school.
Maybe they sold them online or something. I don't know.
Maybe I don't know because
Or
I didn't get
shops.
any
I know I didn't continue through the cereal boxes and chip packets, but
chips.
maybe they
Yeah.
were sold in another way that we're not sure of. That's something I would have to Google. But it did say they were around till 2008 before they were discontinued.
That's crazy, and they're worth. I've seen that the Space Jam collection's worth a fair bit of money now.
Oh, really? I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
it
the whole
probably
full
is.
collection of the folder with the whole all the Tarzos, the Space Jam ones. I think it's worth a bit of money these days.
I told you I also printed out. So this article is a bit of history. So about how they came about. So it says in a recent interview with Vice, Tarzo's founder Pedro Padierna explained how the idea came about. Apparently, Padierna and his co-workers Fabian de la Paz caught wind of a Hawaiian beverage company who in the 1930s made their bottle caps collectible by covering them in artwork and calling them Pogs. Like
Pogs, yeah, that's right.
Pogs eventually became a popular game that
Mm-hmm.
dominated playground for years. Fast forward to the 90s and the guys behind Pogs were ready to bring them back and license the campaign to other brands. Fabian de la Paz found them at a promotions expo in the US and the rest is history. What is truly mind-blowing about the whole thing is not only the fact that Tarzos came from Pogs, but that the term Pog was originally an acronym for pineapple, orange, and guava. The name Tarzo came from an advertising agency that was derived from, taconazos, which is Spanish for the heel of a shoe. Apparently, this was a cheeky nod to another Mexican schoolyard game that involved using shoe heels to remove bottle caps. Yes, this year's bottle cap challenge is quaking right now, so I'm not sure when this article was written.
That's crazy. But
According-
I remember Pogs. Do you remember Pogs?
I think that was kind of like that one was saying from the 1930s. So I'm sure
Yeah.
there's been other iterations since that.
Because I think I've got some unopened packets of Pogs
Okay.
from like the 1990s or 1980s.
Yeah, I think
Don't
they
ask me where I got them
were
from.
another one from Tarzo's or something. Like
Yeah, there was like early before that, like earlier, I think, or maybe around the same time. But I think there was maybe earlier. I don't know where I got them from, but I still got them. My dad wanted to throw them out. I told him not to.
Yeah, so, and it says, according to Vice, PepsiCo eventually made Tarzos a global phenomenon, which is when the popular 90s game landed on Aussie shores. For the 90s kids out there who still have their Tarzo collection, guard that puppy with your life. It's an icon that deserves all the respect.
Very nice.
Very
nice.
So yeah, that's our Do You Remember the Trend game. Next week, Sarah will have the trend and the year, and I will be the one guessing. So good luck, Sarah. Gonna see if you can top that one. All right, guys, we're gonna finish our podcast up with guessing some of the major categories from the Grammys. So we'll start with Record of the Year, and the nominees for that category are "I Still Have Faith in You" from ABBA, "Freedom" from John Batiste, "I Get a Kick Out of You" from Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga, "Peaches" by Justin Bieber featuring Daniel Caesar and Giveon, "Right on Time" by Brandy Carlisle, "Kiss Me More" by Sarah's favorite artist Doja Cat and SCA, "Happier Than Ever" Billie Eilish, Montrero, or in brackets, "Call Me By Your Name" Lil Nas X, "Driver's License" by Olivia Rodrigo, and "Leave the Door Open" by Silk Sonic, obviously featuring Bruno Mars. So who do you think is going to win from that category?
It's going to be a close one. Either Doja Cat or maybe Olivia Rodrigo. I reckon it'll be a close one for that one.
I'm going to go left of field. I'm going to say ABBA.
No, ABBA.
Yep, I'm going for ABBA. I'll tell you why. Because they are such a beloved group, especially because the Grammys are nominated by critics, correct? It's not by popularity.
I think so, yes.
So I think from a critic standpoint, I think ABBA are going to take it out.
ABBA? All right.
So you're saying
Sounds good.
you're saying Doja Cat or
Olivia
Rodrigo? I love Olivia Rodrigo, but I think just from thinking about that,
maybe not this one.
I think this is going to be number one for the win. If
Oh,
not, the
good,
other
yeah.
one I think that may get it due to certain reasons is Lil Nas X, Montreal.
Yeah, you might get it too. You might get it.
He's in with a very, very good chance.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right, what's the next?
The second
Next one.
category is Album of the Year, and the nominees are We Are by John Batiste, Love for Sale, Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga, Justice, Justin Bieber, Planet Her, Doja Cat, Happier Than
Great
Ever,
album.
Billie Eilish, Back of My Mind, Her, Montrero, Lil Nas X, Sour, Olivia Rodrigo, Evermore, Taylor Swift. You've got Donda by Kanye West, and that's all the nominees for Album of the Year. Who do you think is going to take this one out?
I don't know. I listened the crap out of this one. I listened to Planet Her on repeat for about a week. I didn't listen to it anything else, and it was really good. But Olivia Rodrigo is another tough one. Like these two, like they've done
They've
really
had
well.
massive years. Both of them have
Massive years.
Same
Massive years.
same as Lil Nas X. I think
Yes, he has.
he has the chance to clean up at a lot of these as well.
That is true.
I'm actually surprised that ABBA's not on the Album of the Year.
I think they're only on one nomination that I could find.
So
Maybe more. Don't quote me on that.
I'm very surprised they're not on. Justin he's had a very massive year too with Peach.
He has.
I'm pretty sure it's a record-breaking song, isn't it? Peaches?
Really?
Pretty
I
sure,
don't
yeah.
know.
Especially on Spotify, I'm pretty sure. Can't count Billie Eilish out either. So
She is a Grammy favorite.
she is a Grammy favorite, exactly. So,
She's a Grammy
so you're
favorite.
going for Doja Cat?
Yeah, but that's my opinion. But it's also it's a tough
That's your
one.
guess. That's your
That's
guess.
my guess. Only because I listened. I thought it was an excellent album. I can't really say about Olivia Rodrigo, but every song that I've heard of hers is pretty good. So maybe I should give that record a spin. Have a listen to it.
I don't think it's going to be either of them. I'm going to say Lil Nas X for this one. Lil
Lil
Nas
Nas.
Yep.
He's pretty good. He is pretty good though.
is pretty good.
He is pretty good.
Yeah, just yeah. I think he's got a very good chance of taking out this category for sure. I'm actually surprised Adele's not on there as well.
I didn't see her either, actually.
The other band that could take out that we haven't put in there is Silk Sonic. They had a very big year, which is that they did all their songs with Bruno Mars. That's what that album.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. So Leave the Door Open.
That was
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they could be another potential winner of that category. It's actually it's a really jam-packed category, that one. All right. Song of the Year. This is an interesting one. Bad Habit by Ed Sheeran. A Beautiful Noise, Alicia Keys and Brandy Carlisle. Driver's License, Olivia Rodrigo. Fight for You, Her. Happier Than Ever, Billie Eilish. Kiss Me More by Doja Cat featuring SCA. Leave the Door Open, Silk Sonic and Bruno Mars. Montrero, Call Me By Your Name, Lil Nas X. Peaches, Justin Bieber, featuring Daniel Caesar and Giveon. And Right on Time, Brandy Carlisle. Your thoughts on that one?
This is a very tough one.
Oh, heck yes.
Very tough.
Heck yes.
I mean, Bad Habits. That was. I'm going to say Bad Habits. I'm going for Eddie on this one. But Ginger Jesus, he's going to take this out.
Eddie.
Eddie.
All right. Well, I'm going to say, I might say Leave the Door Open on this one. Silk Sonic. I'm kind of all over it. Yeah, I really think they've got a good chance of taking this one out.
Ooh.
So that's my guess for that nomination. All right, brand new artist. I'm probably going to totally butcher this person's name. Arouge Aftab, Jimmy Allen, Baby Keem, Phineas. Do you know who Phineas is?
No.
Phineas is Billie Eilish's brother.
Ah, Phineas Nigellus. That's all I could think of from Harry Potter. Sorry.
That was straight out of left of center. Glass Animals, Japanese Breakfast, The Kid Laroi, Arlo Parks, Olivia Rodrigo, and Sawit. I think it's going to be Olivia Rodrigo.
I thought so.
They're going to give her something, and it had to be this one.
That's it. I mean, Saweetie has been
she's
more.
She's going to clean up in that category.
That's it. She's been more of a presence than the music. It's a social media presence. So I think Olivia. I think that too.
Agreed. Okay. Well, this is the pop section. I think we'll just do a couple from this and then we'll round out the episode, I guess.
Sounds good.
Okay. Best pop solo performance. Anyone, Justin Bieber, Right on Time, Brandi Carlile, Billie Eilish, Happier Than Ever, My Girl, Ariana Grande, Positions, and Olivia Rodrigo, Driver's License.
Oh, I
Best
feel like seeing
pop
Rodrigo
solo
again.
performance. Okay. I'm going to go for
But then, oh no, Eilish.
I'm going to back my girl, Ariana Grande.
Yeah, Eilish was in there that one too, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah,
Billie
Eilish
Eilish?
there.
Yeah.
Eilish.
I think Eilish might take that one.
Brandi Carlile. You're going to go for
I'm
who?
gonna say Billie Eilish. I'm going Billie Eilish for this one.
I'm going to go Ariana.
She's a favorite.
Best pop duo group performance. This will be our last one. And that is I Get a Kick Out of You, Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga. Lonely, Justin Bieber and Benny Blanco. BTS, Butter. Higher Power by Coldplay. And Kiss Me More, Doja Cat and SCA.
Ooh, it's another tough one.
Yeah.
I different reasons, different artists for different reasons. I think Tony Bennett, Lady Gaga, because Gaga's a Grammy favorite.
They're both
You know what I mean?
veterans of the industry.
They're both veterans.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's right. So that's
point.
that.
Yep.
But they're also in another category too. They're also up for another nomination. So if they don't get this one, they might get the next one. Who else was that again?
Justin
BTS has always been pretty popular. Justin Bieber's Lonely was a very popular song.
Lonely, yeah. But
Doja
I
Cat
don't think I've
and-
heard that one from Coldplay. Higher Power.
No, I haven't. I don't think I've heard that one either. Actually,
I think Kiss
But,
Me More's got good potential for this category.
it was played a lot.
It was, but then again, like I
Played
said,
a lot.
it doesn't go on popularity from fans. So
That's true.
it's a hard one.
That is true.
So
It is.
I think I might go with I
So
think
if we're
I'm
not
gonna go
doing
with Kiss. I'm going to go with Kiss Me More on this one.
You going Kiss Me More? Or I think because of the fact that it's not a fan, I don't know. It's a tough one. Gaga and Tony Bennett, but if they don't get that, they'll get the next one.
Okay.
So they'll get some. They'll walk away with something. Not this one. Maybe not this one. But if they do, this one or the other one. So we'll see. We'll see. This is it'll be interesting.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how many of them we got right.
Well,
I'm pretty sure that airs on the 5th of April. We'll definitely watch that, and we'll talk about that in a future episode for sure.
I did hear a little bit of news though about apparently, even though the song hasn't been nominated, they're going to do a performance of "We Don't Talk About Bruno" from Encanto.
Really? It wasn't nominated? I thought that would have been in a category.
No, because I didn't think that song was going to be as popular. So he nominated another song.
Okay, that's awesome.
So he nominated another song.
I was going to look up the performances for this episode, but I didn't worry about it. I thought we talked about it after it kind of aired.
Yeah, I just thought it was a very interesting one too. But I did have.
We'll definitely be giving our opinions on that then for sure.
Yes. We might have to be. We might have to.
Episode. I've actually really enjoyed this episode. It went a lot better than I thought it was going to go.
That flowed quite well. It flowed really well.
I think definitely did. I'm pretty damn proud. For our first episode, we freaking knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to say to round out the episode besides?
No. Just I had a really good time today, and hopefully we can do this again next week, and hopefully you guys like it. Give us some feedback. Let us know how
you can actually find us on we've got a Facebook Trending Again podcast. Our page is there, so you can leave feedback on that. Sarah has created a Reddit, is that right?
Yes, I'm just in the middle of just sorting that out, but that should be up and running by the time this pod's out anyway.
Okay.
So we'll have everything up.
So for those of you that love using Reddit, you'll find us on Reddit, and for those of you who just want to find us on Facebook, you can find us at Trending Again Podcast.
That's right. Drop us a line. If there's any topics you want us to cover, just mention it. And we'll see what we can do. The more we'd love to hear from you. We'd like to hear some feedback. Yes, keep it coming.
Yep,
love it.
Thanks everyone for joining us for today's podcast. I hope you enjoyed our topics. We had a lot of fun making this episode today, and we'll see you all in the next episode. Until then, bye-bye.
Peace.
Well, what a groovy groovy episode that was. Today was really interesting, folks. Hopefully we'll see you next time. Like and subscribe, and don't forget, stay groovy.